It's News Literacy Week at MTN, and the theme is Spotlight on Local News. Where local news is the backbone of how we stay informed about issues and events that impact us, but it's in peril. We talked to Hannah Covington, the Education Director for the News Literacy Project, about the issues facing the industry.
There's really a crisis moment in local news. Huge decline in the number of newspapers, a huge increase in the number of news deserts. So that's an area where people have little to no access to a local news source, and that's a big problem.
In the last 20 years, over 2,000 newspapers have closed, and many others are a shell of themselves. For example, the Great Falls Tribune had dozens of reporters and one of the widest circulations in the state. Now it's down to 2 reporters and just announced the transition to postal delivery. Local television stations aren't immune either, facing challenges while adapting to the changing media landscape.
We talk a lot about the transition to online, the transition to digital. People just have so many choices of where they're getting their information from. And traditional sources of revenue that newsrooms relied on for decades, those have just largely dried up. And people oftentimes might not be willing to pay for news or can't pay for news. And a lot of newsrooms are now being owned, for example, by, private equity firms that have made deep and devastating cuts to the newsroom. So beats are going uncovered and meetings are going unattended and abuses of power are going unchecked.
So what are some solutions? There's a push from organizations to find avenues to invest in local news, whether it's the private sector or through legislation. The business model needs to change, and the challenge is convincing people it's worth changing. That was a topic of discussion at a news literacy event this week.
We're trying to convince either philanthropists or government to do this investments and donation and sacrifice their money or taxpayer money in order to help local news. And the point is actually it would pay back many times over. That communities that don't have local news have worse bond ratings, meaning their municipal borrowing costs go up, which translates into higher taxes and more expensive, literally dollars and cents.
There's no single solution, but a big part of it, what we can do, everyday people can do, is become more news literate and recognize the role that local news plays in our communities.
To learn more about News Literacy Week, check out this story on our website. Tom Wiley, MTN News.
Lily Gladstone making history on the big screen.
That's how you are.
And her work helping feed the ambition of drama students here at Hardin High.
All the other kids a chance to look up to like a good role model. Native kids believe in themselves that they could do it.
Representation, I didn't really think that there was much Native actors out there, so I'm kind of glad to see one getting a Golden Globe and all that.
It gives a kid a chance to get out of the reservation and go do something that they never thought they would.
The Hardin Drama Club is hard at work after school each night, rehearsing for an upcoming production.
I want to see that because I'd seen the talent in a lot of these young Native American kids. The one thing I really want to see is I want to see success from them.
Director Darren Means says since Gladstone's performance in Killers of the Flower Moon, he's seen interest in drama increase.
Several people come to me and say, hey, since my kid has seen this, they want to join Drama Club. They want to be part of Drama Club now. And to me, it's like, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
He says not only is her role in a major motion picture an inspiration to his Native American students, but the movie itself is shedding light on Native American issues.
Also, the diabetes runs rampant on the reservation. I have it myself. And so to see that representation and how they handle it, like I said, it brought tears to my eyes at times.
Fresh off representing Montana in the International Thespian Festival, Hardin's Drama Club is looking ahead to its next accomplishment, putting on a production of Shadowland.
It's kind of about this woman named Eileen where she talks to her psychiatrist and feels like she's in a fever dream or something.
She doesn't really know what's going on because she got into an accident.
How did I come out of it, Dan? Who cares? Stop obsessing over it.
A little bit of a twist at the end. She comes to find out that things are not exactly the way she expected.
But now these drama students have their sights set on a new objective than just memorizing lines and hitting those stage cues. Perhaps they too will make it to the big time, just like Montana's Lily Gladstone.
It was kind of pretty amazing seeing that there is a spot open for Native Americans in general.
In Hardin, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.